Hey fit friends, welcome to another episode of Mat Workout here on Body Lab TV. My name is Adam. I'll be taking you through this session today. Some apparatus devices, workout gear we're going to use today. Ab wheel. Most of us have these. Most of us forgot about these. If you don't have one, that's all right. I'm going to show you some options with a slider disc, also a towel. And if you've seen some of the other episodes, a foam roller makes a good substitute. Good old fitness band, little mini band, one of my favorites. Pretty cheap, pretty versatile, and very portable. And as always, I'll do my best to give you options with the equipment, also without. Worst case, if something doesn't feel right, trust your body, trust yourself. We know that there's between working hard and getting hurt. All right, let's get started with a little warm up here. Roll up, roll down. So we're going to turn long ways on the mat. Now, engage the legs so the toes are pointing up. Sit up tall, tummy tight. I like arms forward for a little counterbalance here. Now, on the way down, I'm going to squeeze my abs really tight and, fancy word, articulate the spine. Or in other words, just round the spine. Pretend you're trying to feel each and every little vertebrae roll down. Take a couple breaths on the way down. Big inhale, stretch long. Now, exhale, reverse the position. So, notice the toes stay pointing up. Curl up. Totally reverse the way you came down. Sit up tall and then reach forward. Now, don't actually try to grab your feet. Just reach. Fingers open. Notice no grabbing. And then slowly back down. Now, the legs will slide. The tricky part is don't let the legs lift. So everyone's a little different. Some of you, if your legs are flopping around, so you're fighting for body control, you might have to go a little faster. So it takes a while, this spinal articulation, this idea, to get used to it. In other words, keep rolling, everyone. There's a lot of little muscles going on in our midsection and our core, as well as some stabilizers on the sides. Some of us forgot about those muscles. Some of us didn't know we had those muscles. Some of us have just neglected those muscles for a little while, but if they're still there, pretty sure you'd know if you had them removed or not. We can still exercise them. All right, one more. Now, after this round, we're going to add a little twist. So check it out. I'm going to roll up slow, sit up really, really tall, and then twist. In this case, right hand forward, left arm back. Again, not grabbing, just reaching both arms equally out. Roll back down. Find your tempo. Find your breath. So about now, you should be breathing really big. Go and make it a little louder. Then I'm going to reverse the twist other way. So notice you got a nice reach with the arms. So this helps with a little, I guess I can get fancy with the wording here, neuromuscular conditioning coordination. In other words, that connection we have between our brain and all the muscle fibers we own. Nice part about that is the more we can activate muscle fibers I'm talking about, the more efficient our workouts become. Not necessarily easier, just more efficient, meaning get more for your effort, make the most out of your time. Last one here. All right, I'm going to finish in the center position. Now, I need to scoot forward. We're going to roll down onto the back. Stay there. Lift the legs up. One of my favorites, alternating ankle grabs. So you crunch up high as you can, reach up as high as you can on the leg, grab it with both hands, give it a light little pull, and then switch. Exhale. Now, the tummy muscles are engaged, and I say light pull. We don't want to stretch hard because, number one, the hamstrings are sensitive, and number two, we're just trying to feel some movement and fluid circulating through the body. If you're going to take any longer, deeper stretches, well, I recommend you do that after, not before. Reason being, too much hard stretching could either aggravate or temporarily weaken the muscles and could overload the connective tissue. However, if you do it after you work out where you're warm, your body's a little more limber, less risk of overstretching. And grab it in. Rock and roll on your back. Sit on up. All right, flip over, tabletop position on your hands and knees. So now we got some heat in the core. See how much more movement you get the spine. Now in tabletop, what's nice is There's nothing compressing or pushing on the spine versus being laid on the back. Now we have the ability to move the spine more. Again, very neglected movements. Cat cow is one of my favorites. Does a lot for the body, and it's simple. Pretty approachable by pretty much everyone. Some of you like to get a little side-to-side movement, wag your tailbone around. I'm going to take a little bit more time here and warm up the wrist. I like to do a lot of planking movements. And all these little bones in our hands and wrists can get a little compacted. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. So if we can get them warmed up, sliding around nice and nicely, well, then they'll feel better during the workout. Remember, our muscles are pretty strong and they're pretty durable comparatively, but we don't want our joints hampering our ability to move, because muscles can recover. They will recover. Joints, well, they're a little more sensitive. It might take a little longer. All right, downward facing dog. So hands plant towards the front of the mat, fingers out, palms flat. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and pedal the legs out. So this is a great position to wake up the posterior chain. And notice I'm pedaling my legs out. Right, left, right. Posterior chain, meaning the back side of the body, from the rear of the neck all the way down to the heels. It's a very strong side of the body, but it can also hold a lot of stress. How's that breath? All right, we're going to start to warm up the legs. So walk forward. Keep your tummy tight. Inhale, stand up slow. All right, simple, slow squats. I'm going to face you. Heels about shoulder width, maybe a little wider, and stay with me. Notice this really, really slow count. One of my favorites is super slow tempo. So you exhale, you squat 1, squat 2, squat 3, squat 4, lift 1, lift 2, lift 3, squeeze 4, and down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4, and up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4. Keep going. I'll show you from the side. Super slow movement. Hips hinge back. Notice my spine is kind of flat. I'm tilted forward, but I'm not overly arching, nor am I hunched over. Also, notice the top, I don't fully lock out the knees. So keep a little soft bend in the knees at the top. You can stand up straight, but don't lock out, because again, we want to keep pressure on the muscles, not start to dump into our joints. All right, 10 more seconds. Then we're going to vary this movement a little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right, come to the front of the mat. Stand up. Now, we're going to do that same slow squat, maybe a little faster. You're going to come on down, plant the hands, walk backs to plank. Hold plank, maybe do a couple shoulder taps. Then slowly take your feet wide. You're going to bear crawl up. Keep your tummy tight, little steps. Back to the squat. In this case, I got to step off my mat, toes wide. Slowly back up. Big breath in. Maybe a little arm reach at the top. You want to get some more length. Slowly hinge your hips back. Take it on down. Still in the warm-up phase, so be patient. Hands plant. Slowly start to walk back. Little bear walk out. Take a pause and plank. Take a couple of breaths. Walk it up. Breathe. Now make sure your arms are straight, elbows rotated in a little, so you're not bowed out like a bulldog. Back to squat. Slowly up. Now you're going to go right back down into it. I'm just going to turn the other way so you can see the front view. Hands plant. Now notice the shoulders stay pretty level. I'm not tilting or twisting to the side. Breathe. Notice when I walk up, I take my feet wide, in this case wider than the hands. Come back up. Squeeze your butt at the top, but again, don't lock the knees. Bring it right on down. Last round here. Maybe you can keep the feet wide. Might feel more stable for your back. Everyone's different, so I don't want to be too specific on the alignment. More about body sensation. Do you feel muscles you know you should be working? Do you feel stable and controlled? Big reach up. Bring it on down. All right, so let's start with a little band work. Favorite mini band. It will be yours too one day, I hope. Maybe today. So put it on your feet. Now, if you don't have a band, that's all right. Do this without. Now, this squat, because of the band, can't get my feet much wider, but I don't need to because I'm not going to go as low. So squat back, stand up, kick the heel out. Notice, I can't go that far. It's a pretty tight band. Down, up. If you don't have the band, you could probably go a little farther. All right, keep going, everybody, while I show you this from the side. So hips go back. Notice I'm not going as deep as I was earlier. When I kick back, it's through the heel. So notice when the kick out, it's not perfectly out to the side. It's out to the side and slightly behind me. But glutes, booty, you know the deal. And it's not a super hard kick, so depending on the type of band you're using, some of you might have a stiffer color. They're all color-coded, so you might have a lighter one. But again, make sure you're not cramping into the back. So in other words, keep your squat going, everyone. I don't want to, well, you don't want to see yourself swaying in this lower back. So I'll do it again. You guys keep it up at your own tempo, but notice, kind of keeping the movement here in the glutes. All right, 10 more seconds. I'm going to start to reposition myself for the next set of exercises. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So stand at the back of the mat. You're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, you're going to walk it out. Plank. Now from plank, if you have the band, slow mountain climbers. If you don't have the band, kick up your tempo. So everyone, keep doing your mountain climbers. Another option, one of my favorites, you want a little more cardio burn, slider disc or a towel for your mountain climbers. Check it out. This one's a really good burn. Breathe. Notice I'm not sagging my hips, also not way up and down dog. Back is almost flat. Shoulders level. 20 more seconds. I'm going to go back to the band because I love a good band. All right, 15 seconds, everyone. You're going to drop to the elbows next. Forearm plank. Keep the band if you have it. 3, 2, and 1. All right, forearm plank. That means on the elbows. Now, you're going to walk your feet out to the side of the mat. So tap to the side, tap to the side. All right, keep going, everyone. While I change your view here for a second. Out. Out. Now notice, as I tap out, I'm not getting a lot of sway or movement in the hips. So tummy tight, butt firm, keep the hips still. Here's a variation with the slider discs. Again, if you don't have disc or band, you can do this without. Notice though, with the slider disc, I can take a little wider. Breathe. Kick my wheel. All right, keep going. I'm going to get myself caught back up with you guys. 20 seconds, please. 10 seconds. You're going to bring it all the way down to your tummy next in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, on your stomach. I like to prop my hands on my chin here. Now, the feet, legs lift, toes turned out, and I'm going to bounce the band a little bit, keeping my abs really hard. So keep stretching the band out, 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 out. Your booty should be clamped pretty tight. Here's what's, keep going, everyone. I'm going to show you the rear view here. Excuse my rear view. Notice my toes are turned out. I'm just getting a little bounce. Now, if you don't have the band, you can do this. Just keep it really tight and and a little slower. It's almost like a little pulse, but the glutes are really engaged. Breathe. All right, where'd my band go? 30 more seconds, friends. My fit friends. Keep it cooking. All right, coming up, get the band on your feet. We're going to take it to a tabletop position so we can get a little more work in those glutes. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, keep the band on your feet. If you don't have one, that's all right. All right, tabletop position now. All the toes are going to curl under. Get really planted on your palms. Now, in this case, my left leg is coming up. I'm going to slowly try to press up to the ceiling. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Abs hard. Now, I got a really brand new band here, so it's pretty tight. Some of you might get higher than me, but very important, I want you to make sure the lower back isn't bouncing around. So let me exaggerate here carefully, trying not to hurt myself, but press up, and I want to see this back bounce with the leg. So core tight. You keep your movement going. Just lift up, up, up. Breathe. 30 seconds. Now, if you need to, you can shrink it down to a little pulse. But also, I want you to notice, so in this case, my left leg is lifting. My hip does tilt up slightly, but I'm not totally dumping to the right. So press up through the left leg. The hip lifts slightly, but core is tight, so I'm not falling to the side. Breathe. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you're going to flip to your back. At this point, you can let the band fall off. We'll put it back on here in a sec. Roll down to your back. Single leg hip bridge. So shoulder blades together, hips up. Right leg extends forward. Now slowly move your hips down, up, down, up. Now the right leg doesn't really matter what it's doing or what it looks like. Some people like straight up, some people like straight forward. Very important though, this right hip, don't let it tilt down. So keep your hip lift up going. If you can carefully see me here from the other view, what I'm talking about is a tendency, so my right leg is lifted, there's a tendency for the right hip to fall down here. So try to keep this right hip tilted up more. Now that's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to hurt your left booty more in a good way. Good hurt. We all exercise. We know what good hurt means. And also, it's going to keep the pressure from torquing or over twisting into the lower back. Once that goes, well, your workout's pretty much over. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep the hips up. Now the leg. I want you to flex the foot up to the ceiling. Point the toes down. Maybe touch if your back will let you. In this case, mine really doesn't, so I don't actually touch. But try not to have a lot of swinging in the hip. If you need to, take your right hand. See if you can hold your right hip in place. Breathe. 15 more seconds on this one. Also, keep going. Notice the left heel and knee alignment. Knee is right over the ankle there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, hold the leg 45 degrees so the thighs are kind of parallel here. Hips stay lifted. Now you can move leg out, in, in. So keep going with that. I'll show you another view here. Out, in. Notice I'm going kind of slow, not super far out, but my hips are not swaying around. So keep those tummy muscles engaged. You have 10 more seconds, friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. So hopefully you got that band handy. Another one of my favorite band exercises. Banded bicycle crunches. I do these a lot if you watch any of the other episodes. So fingertips on the neck, legs up in the air tabletop. Now if you have the band, it's slow. If you do not have the band, you might kick up your tempo. All right, friends, keep crunching. Crunch and breathe. Make sure you're moving the ribs side to side, not flapping your elbows. And also make sure the lower back isn't bouncing up and down. That's the body trying to rely more on momentum to the muscles. which sometimes might help you in life, but in this case, it would do more harm than good. Breathe. 30 seconds. I'm going to flip back over to a plank position. Right into banded mountain climbers. Or sliders. Or none of that, just mountain climbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug it in. I like to roll on the back here for a second. Kind of feels good to move the fluids around. All right, good strong plank. There we go, crunch. Now notice there's a tendency sometimes as body control gets unstable, there's a tendency to fall back. So in this case, what I'm talking about is shoulders behind the hands. Try to stay forward. Yeah, that's more challenging. If you need to be on the elbows for this, that's fine. Alternate exercise, keep going everyone, is hip dips. So keep showing you my backside here. I'm hoping that's helping you, not distracting. Twist. This can also be done at the elbows. But if you're having control, stability issues with mountain climbers, that's a great alternative. All right, friends, 20 seconds. How's that breath? Keep it loud, keep it proud. Palms pressed flat. Don't let your knuckles pop up. Your main knuckles. You're on the elbows in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, bring it down on your elbows. Tap side to side. Now this is another one. If you just want to do hip dips, notice the hip up alternative. There's a little lift in the middle, down to the side. However, this is my band. It's not the butt popping up, which is you can see a little arch in my back. It's not a good idea. So maybe a little bit of rounding versus a hard arch. Let's see here, 30 seconds. If you got that slider disc option, roll with it or slide with it. Saw someone use a skateboard. That was a very ingenious way to utilize what's around. 10 seconds. Coming up, you're going to lay down. Let me move my watch. On your stomach in 3, 2, 1. All right, set yourself up for success. Chin on the hands, feet flexed out, and a little bounce. Tummy tight, big deep breaths. Now I want you to notice my legs are not that lifted. Some of you can't tell, but my thighs are a little lifted. So knees off. There's also a tendency here to bend the knees. Well, all that does is it takes pressure away from the glutes, which is a most powerful leg muscle. So keep the legs straight, thighs lifted, because bend your knees here, well, you might just aggravate the knees. Or, even worse, well, comparatively worse, your IT band here on the side. You don't want to overwork that. Most of us know we have tight IT bands. No reason to make them tighter, especially if you endurance athletes out there. All right, 20 seconds. We're going to come up back to tabletop. I'm going to spin around here 15 seconds because we're going to hit up the right leg. Well, in my case, right leg. Hopefully you were on the same page. If not, that's okay. Just do the other leg. 3, 2, 1. All right, come up, tabletop position. Now, get that spine in a good solid position. Band is still around the feet. Curl the toes under. Now press your right heel up to the ceiling. Up, down. Oh, I forgot to mention on the other side, some of you might have noticed. So my right foot's pressing, but the left foot, notice the band slid up to the ankle. That's okay. It's actually a more stable position. But the toes are curled under. Some of you are wearing shoes while you're doing this. That's all right. Just make sure the band is in the arch of the shoe, the narrowest part, so it doesn't bind. And there's a tendency where it might rip or roll over. Or even snap on you. Okay, some of you got an older band. All right, 30 seconds here. Now again, no swaying, balancing the lower back. It's not that kind of class. Maybe I'll teach a dance class on one of these episodes. I gotta learn how to dance first. You can also just do a little pulsing here. 10 seconds. Then we're gonna roll to the back, single leg bridge in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the bridge position I'm gonna turn around here. Again, the hips are not super duper high. Shoulder blades together. Left leg in the air this time. Left leg. Move up and down. Now don't let this left hip bounce or sway around. Let me try this view. I don't know if you can learn anything better from this view, but thighs are kind of parallel. As I lift up and down, that doesn't really change much. Might be a little bit of shifting, but not a whole lot of rolling and sliding around. So keep the hip position stable here. Breathe. Also, knee alignment, knee over ankle on that right leg. Up, down, up, down. Now, I always advise, some people wonder, where am I supposed to feel this? Well, I'm not feeling it where you want me to feel it. In this case, glutes, a little bit of hamstring. Sometimes you got to slow down to feel the muscles. Sometimes you got to put a hand, let's say here on your core and on your butt, just a little touch to tell your brain like, hey, put some energy there. All right, 10 seconds. You're going to do leg lifts, single leg raises from bridge. 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone, slowly point the foot, lower down, flex the ankle, lift up, point, lower, flex, lift. Now this one's going to get a little trickier to keep the hips from hula. There's a phrase, from hula dancing around. Might always want to do that, but I'm Hawaiian. Shoulder blades together, tummy tight, breath is big. 10 seconds, you're going to go out to the side. I'm going to change angle again. And just give you a better perspective for yourself. 3, 2, 1. Single leg bridge. Leg goes out. In this case, left leg. So still loaded on the right heel. Very important, the heel, not the toe. Why the heel? Well, keep your leg extensions going. The heel is more aligned with the back of the leg, hence the muscles on the back of the leg, versus if the heel is up on the toes, the front of the foot kind of lines up the muscles on the front of the leg in case the quad, which in this position might just aggravate your kneecap. So let's try to stay on the heel and get more into that booty work. Yes, a little hamstring for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. All right, where'd that band go? Banded, bicycle crunches, or unbanded. Roll on down. All right, press, twist, press, twist, press, twist. All right, friends, how's that breath? Now, very important, lower back stays down. In other words, this tailbone might start to lift. Keep going. Let's see here, about 30 seconds left. Now, some of you, your neck might be bothering you doing bicycle crunches. So here's an alternative. Maybe hands under butt. You're going to just work the legs a little slower, but maybe a little lower. Sometimes the band becomes a distraction. You start to overload, say, your hip flex area. Well, ditch the band and find some other variation of abs. So in this case, I'm doing heel taps as I bicycle my upper body. Breathe. This allows me to keep my lower back down and stable. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the knees in, rock and roll on up. Core movement, the ab wheel. So if you have an ab wheel, get to work. Options, slider disc or towel. So if those of you on the ab wheel, just keep going. Slider disc, you might want to go a little slower. These are harder to control, mostly because the hands are moving independently. Also, they're not as smooth as the wheel. Really love the wheel just because it keeps the motion smooth. Now another option, keep going. Whatever you're working on, keep working on it. Another option for those of you that do not have it, some of you have seen this variation in my other videos, walk it out. Now those of you doing the walk method, if you want to intensify it, try it from plank. I recommend lifting the hips up a little bit, feet wider, walk it out. Now don't worry how far you can go. Feel that point, in my case about here, well I'm challenged, but I know if I go any farther, I can put too much pressure, angular pressure on the joints, not good pressure. All right, I'm gonna go back to my wheel because I love this wheel. Now keep working, very important. Some of you might have seen this in other people, or say at the gym. There's a tendency to either arch the back and keep the butt sticking up. This, all this is going to guarantee you is a trip to the chiropractor or physical therapist. So instead of trying to overextend the wheel and also slow it down, you're not kneading dough. Just try to maybe reduce the motion, but I want you to notice something. I keep the wheel in front of my chest, so not under here, because this is a supported almost resting position. Even just slightly forward, that keeps the load on my core. Also, serratus anterior down here. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to switch to slider disc for this next one. Bear crunch. Earlier in class, we did a bear walkout, so if you don't have slider disc or towels, do that. All right, here we go. Plank it out. Now notice there's not a lot of moving the hips. I pull in, big crunch, big exhale, press out. Try it again. Press in, pull in, press out. Now you're having a difficulty engaging both legs here. Try very, very slow mountain climbers instead. Also, here's a fun one. Keep going with whatever variation you're working. Here's the back view. I'm going to go out to the side. How far up to the side? Well, depending on your mobility, you might be able to get elbow to knee. Breathe. But also notice, keep going, the shoulders, they stay pretty still. In other words, I'm not dumping or twisting side to side. All right, we're going to hit obliques in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Obliques. So let me set my sliders up for the next exercise after this. No band. So I'm going to start with my left obliques. I'm going to roll down. My knees are going over to the right. Fingertips on the neck. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, down. So variations, maybe extend the legs. Maybe crunch up and extend the arms. Sometimes the arms get a little bothersome because you need to support your neck. Just fingertips. Sometimes the leg extension gets to be too much for the lower back. So keep the heels down. Let's go 30 more seconds. Breathe. Now notice, even on the side tilt of the hips here, my lower back is not bobbing around. Especially with core ab muscles, take out the momentum. Some people have a bad habit of bouncing around here. All it's going to do is compress the vertebrae, the disc between the vertebrae. Remember, we're trying to stay healthy, get healthy. Now go the other way. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to take it to the slider disc. So lots of variations here. I'm going to put both feet on the sliders. Some of you might be able to do this with one slider, both feet on one. Now I'm going to bend both knees over to my right elbow. So the knees go to the right elbow, in and out. That's going to squeeze the left obliques. So from the front, knees go to the right, but I'm squeezing my left obliques. Notice the shoulders are not tilted, twisting. So there's a tendency to lose the hip position and you turn the shoulders. It's not so good for your rotator cuff. So keep the shoulders level. Usually that means if the shoulders are shifting, you're either trying to get your knees too far to the side or you're dropping your hips. Hold your hips up. Breathe. 15 seconds. Modifications. You can put the sliders under your hands and tilt the hips. Push out, crunch back. Push out, crunch back. Great alternative exercise. All right, 15 more seconds. I hope I didn't say that already. 15 more seconds. And you're going to put your left elbow down for a side plank, left side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left elbow down, shoulder blades together. Lift up. I like my hand on the hip. Some of you might like it up. Some of you like to twist. Breathe. This one's 30 seconds. Chest is nice and open. Hips are lifted, so know if you're sagging down. If you need to modify left knee down, left hand down, this is a good one too. Maybe scoot your left hand out a little more so you get a little more plank position. Careful with that kneecap though. Might need a towel or a pillow under it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, since I'm facing this way, I'll just roll down for the right obliques. So knees tilted over to my left, fingers on the neck, crunch up, down, up, down, breathe. Now, did you remember your variations? Were you going to try a leg extension? Notice the knees stay together. I'm not letting my legs flop around independently because inner thigh stability is also lower ab engagement. They work together. Let your body learn to work together, all your body parts. Maybe that arm extension. Sometimes, though, I'm losing my position. In my case, especially right now, to start to lose a little stability in the neck, so I need my fingertips on here, support the neck. Also, waistline is not bouncing up and down. We got 20 more seconds. Breathe. We're going to that side bear next. Right side, of course. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug it in. Roll up. All right. Slider disc towels if you got them. Knees go over to the left elbow. So both knees go over to the left elbow. By the way, if you didn't, I think I forgot to mention this on the other side. If you didn't have slider disc or towel, you can hold plank and check it out. Twisted mountain climber. So in this case, I'm only moving my right knee in and out. So if you can see it from the back here, shoulders are even, hips are twisted, and my right knee is crunching to my left elbow. That's still going to target those right obliques. Alternate exercise for the slider disc, that side wheelbarrow. And maybe you just like this one better. Sometimes I do. Still working. The biggest difference is there's not as much crunching, more just holding, engaging. Kind of like that side plank we're about to do in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, fit friends. Right elbow down. Pull the shoulder blades together. Lift the hips. Keep the chest open. Breathe. Now, big consideration, are the hips saggy, cramp in the back? Is the shoulder shrugging up, cramping the neck or the rotator cuff? If that is the case, please modify. Safety first. Maybe on the knee. Maybe a little leg pulse here. 10 seconds. Gonna finish out with a good round of wheelbarrow on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love obliques. But let's center the body now. Back to core work. So whatever you were doing, the walkout, foam roller, sliders, towel, and again, my favorite, the ab wheel. Also, I'm going to have to move my mat under. I'm on a hard concrete floor under here, so I'm going to double up my mat because my kneecaps are not so happy. There we go. Serratus anterior, so best way to think about it, your armpit muscles. Yes, we have armpit muscles. Think about this. You ever seen someone with sagging armpits? Well, if you never have, well, I hope it's not you. So there's important muscles there that help with shoulder stability. I said it earlier, but specifically the serratus anterior muscles. They're mostly important for keeping the shoulder blade in place because there's a bigger, stronger muscle. If this muscle gets weak, we start to lose our postural alignment. So think about slouching, or some people are tied up in the neck. Want to avoid that. 15 seconds. Or if you are that way, slow your exercise down, focus on those muscles, and start to correct the posture. It's another benefit of exercise, to correct misalignment. Real important, it's to mitigate chronic diseases like heart disease. All right, friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulder stretch. So the downside, speaking of posture of all that planking, is the pectoral girdle here can start to tighten up. So let's open that up. One of my favorites, the inverted tabletop, fingers behind. Inhale, lift up. As my fingers are pointing to my heels. And don't focus on trying to shove your hips way up. Say you only lift a little bit, you feel a shoulder stretch, that's fine. But make sure, so I'm going to exaggerate this, you're not falling backwards. So try to keep the shoulders over, in this case the knuckles. Notice when I go down, I got a little elbow bend. I straighten when I lift. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. All right, seated figure 4. So I'm going to take my right ankle, cross it on my left knee here, hands behind again. I'm going to bring my left heel to my butt. So my right ankle here is crossed on my left knee, my left heel's into the butt, and I'm pushing my chest into my knee. Some of you, here's what it looks like from the front. You might be able to get your left elbow down, take your right hand, push the knee away. Some of you just might want to lay down. A good old runner's figure 4 stretch. This is nice too. Some of you know what a pigeon stretch is. That might be nice. If you have a little more mobility, you can comfortably get into that without straining your joints. Breathe. Slow your breath down. Wherever you are, switch. So in this case, the left ankle is crossed over the right knee. Maybe you can push that left knee away. You can hug it in. In this case, I'm grabbing my right leg. Some variation. Some of you might have preferred the seated position here. And that's kind of the progression. So most people who haven't done these type of hip stretches start reclined like I am now. This runner's figure 4 stretch. Eventually, when this starts to become a little too easy, you're not engaging enough stretch because your mobility is improving, and you come up to seated. That pigeon stretch I mentioned earlier, some of you know what that is, some of you don't. It's where, in this case, my left leg is bent in front of me, my right leg is straight back, and the hips are level. Now, some people can't get this low. They might start up here, or you might have something going on the knee or the ankle. This is not an ideal stretch for you. All right, so we're going to take it to a wide seated fold. I'm going to face all of you here so you can see the front action. Feet are comfortably wide. Some of you can go wider. Some of you should not. Toes up. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Now, it's not important to try to get way, way down. Keep your back kind of flat so you're not hunched over. It's more chest forward. So not down with the chest, forward. Relax the shoulders and breathe. Now we're going to slow our breathing down and use that breath to time, or excuse me, better word, tempo this next round of stretches. So big inhale. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left leg. Grab anywhere you can. Inhale, back up to the center. Exhale, right leg. All right, keep that going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, keep going. Pace your own breath. Now, the slower and deeper you can get your breath, the better. Some of you knew this, some of you didn't, maybe you forgot. The tempo, the strength of the breath will help align up your neuromuscular system, calm it down. Also, if you want to look this up later, sympathetic and parasympathetic systems in the body. Things that can start to affect your metabolism. So remember, there's a time you want to fire up your metabolism, get things heated, cooking, processing. There's times you want to slow it down, recovery, calm, rest. Finish in the center. So finish up with your lower back. Some people like to lay down, or in my case, I'm going to sit down, maybe do some twisting here. So please take a couple more minutes to yourself. finish up any other stretch, especially that low back. Make sure your breathing is calmed down. You're not feeling agitated or crampy anywhere. Hydrate, everyone. So thanks for joining me here on Body Lab TV for another mat workout. My name is Adam. It's been a pleasure sweating with you today. Stay healthy, friends. Keep loving.